Rome wasn't built in a day, but the greatest city along the Silk Road was. Welcome to my channel. And today we're exploring the Silk Road's hidden empire, where the Kushans were more advanced than Rome. For centuries, historians have debated whether Rome or the Han Dynasty was the most powerful force in the ancient world. But as we watch the history of the Silk Road unfold, it becomes clear that neither empire comes close to matching the cultural influence of a third power. The cosmopolitan society that emerged along the Silk Road was far more advanced than either Rome or the Han Dynasty could ever hope to be. But who were they? What was so advanced about their empire? And why has Rome never heard of them? This is the Kushan Empire. The Kushan Empire was an ancient empire that emerged in the 2nd century AD, coinciding with the start of the Silk Road. But unlike the empires of Rome and Han, the Kushan Empire was not located in one place. Instead, they stretched from Tajikistan and Uzbekistan in Central Asia all the way to India. They were a melting pot of cultures, languages, and religions. Their cities were home to merchants and missionaries from Greece, China, India, and beyond. If you wanted to trade along the Silk Road, then chances are you were passing through Kushan territory and paying tribute to the Kushan king. While the empire was vast, its capital was the true jewel of the Silk Road, a place where Greeks, Persians, Indians, and Central Asians all came together. This cosmopolitan center of trade and culture was so advanced for its time that even Rome would have been impressed. The heart of this hidden empire was a secret oasis tucked away in the mountains of Central Asia. It was here that the Kushan people forged an empire that would last for 2 centuries and shape the cultural landscape of the Silk Road forever. There's no one quite like him, the man who put his stamp on the whole of Central Asia, the founder of the Kushan Empire, Kushans Kadphises. When he took power, the Kushan Empire consisted of 2 separate halves. The northern part of the empire controlled the important trade cities of Kashgar and Fargana, but these cities were isolated from the rest of the empire. It would be up to Kadphises to unite the Kushan people and transform them into a major player in the affairs of the Silk Road. Kadphises' rise to power was anything but conventional. He was the son of a Sogdian merchant, a people who lived in the western part of the Kushan Empire. His father sold silk from China and other luxury goods from India and Rome. But when the Chinese army invaded the western regions, his father was captured and taken back to China in chains. Young Kushans vowed to avenge his father by taking the Chinese back to where they came from. By age 22, he had done just that, pushing the Chinese back across the Tarim Basin. Kushans didn't stop there. He marched south and conquered the Kushan kingdom of Bactria, putting an end to the independence of the western regions once and for all. Now, at the height of his power, he led his army east, conquering the Fergana Valley and uniting the Kushan people under one banner. Kushans Kadphises had carved out an empire larger than any before it, and it was only the beginning. As the power of the Kushan Empire grew, so did the wealth of its capital. The center of the empire would become the beating heart of the Silk Road, attracting merchants, missionaries, and intellectuals from all over the known world. One of the first things you would notice about the capital is its grand entrance, the twin gates of the Oxus River. The river, also called the Amu Darya, served as both a border to the empire and a lifeline to its people. It was through this river that goods and ideas flowed in and out of the capital. Standing guard over the river were 2 massive gates, each adorned with the image of the emperor. These gates symbolize the role that the Kushan Empire played in facilitating trade along the Silk Road. Just as the river provided water to the empire, the Kushan people provided security to those who passed through their gates. As you walk through the gates, you enter a bustling city full of activity. Merchants from China are unloading silk and porcelain from their camels, while Indian merchants unload spices and ivory. Persian merchants are selling glassware and carpets from the Middle East, while Greek merchants are displaying jewelry and coins from the Roman Empire. Everywhere you look, there are signs of the wealth and prosperity that the Kushan Empire has brought. The air is filled with the sounds of different languages being spoken. Merchants from China are bartering in Chinese, while merchants from Persia are haggling in Old Persian. Greek and Indian merchants conduct business in their native tongues, but everyone seems to understand each other. There are even some people who speak a mixture of these languages. It's a testament to the cosmopolitan nature of the capital city. The capital of the Kushan Empire was a hub of religious activity. People from all over the known world came to the city to practice their religion freely. There are Buddhist monasteries where monks from India are teaching the word of Buddha. There are Zoroastrian temples where priests from Persia are conducting rituals in honor of Ahura Mazda. There are even some Greek philosophers debating the nature of the universe. In the center of the city, the emperor's palace stands as a symbol of the empire's wealth and power. It's a grand structure made of white marble with golden accents. The palace is surrounded by beautiful gardens and fountains, and it's the center of political life in the empire. Here, the emperor and his advisors plan the future of the Kushan Empire and make decisions that affect the entire Silk Road. But what really sets the capital apart is its grand library. It's one of the largest libraries in the ancient world, and it's home to texts from all over the known world. There are books from China and India, from Persia and Greece. The library is a testament to the empire's commitment to education and the pursuit of knowledge. Visitors to the capital are amazed by the wealth and prosperity of this hidden empire. They return home with tales of the great city and its advanced culture, and many of them want to be a part of it. Over time, people from all over the known world come to live in the capital, drawn by the promise of wealth and adventure. The capital becomes a true melting pot of cultures, where people from the East and West come together to live and work. The grandeur of the capital city was matched only by its advanced technology. The Kushan Empire was at the forefront of innovation, and its engineers and inventors were responsible for some of the most important advances of the ancient world. One of the most impressive feats of engineering was the aqueduct that supplied the city with water from the Oxus River. The aqueduct was over 20 miles long, and it carried water from the river to the city without the use of pumps or other advanced technology. It was a marvel of the ancient world, and it provided the city with the water it needed to thrive. But the Kushans weren't just engineers and builders. They were also innovators in the field of medicine. Kushan doctors were some of the most skilled in the ancient world, and they made important advances in surgery and the treatment of diseases. They were also pioneers in the field of public health, and they implemented measures to improve the sanitation and overall health of the population. The Kushan Empire was so advanced for its time that it would have been right at home in the modern day. Its capital city was a hub of culture, trade, and innovation, and it was a place where people from all over the known world came to live and work. But despite its sophistication, the Kushan Empire is largely unknown to the general public. The story of the Kushan Empire is a reminder that there is still so much that we don't know about the ancient world. The Silk Road may have been one of the most important trade routes in history, but it was also a cultural exchange route. It facilitated the spread of ideas, religions, and technologies between the East and West, and it was the Kushan Empire that benefited the most from this exchange. The Kushan Empire was a hidden gem of the ancient world, and it's high time that we learn more about it. So what do you think? Would you have liked to live in the cosmopolitan capital of the Kushan Empire? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more Silk Road adventures and leave a like if you learned something new.